Hey, if NXT is deciding to plan on a future match between Kevin Owens and William Regal after the 2-hour special in Brooklyn, hey, I'm all for it. It would be a better write-up for Owens than it would with his feud between him and Finn Balor for the NXT Championship, cause holy shit! Hello all NXT fans and welcome to another video with me, Mike McRock, one half of the MRB Wrestling Review Show. Right now I'm going to deliver to you my review for this week's episode of WWE NXT. And we kick off the show with William Regal making the official announcement that Kevin Owens will face Finn Balor for the NXT Championship in a ladder match. And this is the first thing I want to concentrate on in this portion of the review. The whole feud between Finn Balor and Kevin Owens. Now, the build up to this match seems fine. I'm not overly excited for rematches because we all know what the end result is going to be and that the champion will be the victor in the match. That's usually the simple and typical WWE formatting. And I feel like that adding the stipulation of the ladder match just doesn't feel like that the stakes are raised based on what we got out of this show. We had an enhancement match where Finn Balor bet Marcus Louis in a predictable match where you can call it from a million miles away. Then you had Kevin Owens attack Finn Balor after that match when he was raising his title at the ramp. You can pretty much telegraph everything that was going on in this segment and how it came across as really predictable. It just felt really too simple. And I wanted to see that ladder be used in the segment, and we never really got that. So my interest level going into this NXT Championship match for the 2-hour special in Brooklyn has really decreased because there was no use of the ladder on the show this week. Hopefully we do get that this next week because God knows we need more excitement. But at least Kevin Owens got the heel heat. That's the one positive I like coming out of the segment that Finn Balor had the match with. So with Marcus Louis, so at least they're giving Kevin Owens the momentum. Also Finn Balor the predictable momentum, as you will, beating Marcus Louis. So with this match coming up in the 2-hour special event, even though I'm not as excited for this match because I don't feel like the stakes have been raised. It just feels like a match added with a stipulation and not anything more than that. I'm just not excited about this match, but in the same time, it is what it is. It is the main event, and I guess I have to accept what NXT has to offer. So now we get to the first match on NXT this week, and that was Solomon Crow taking on Ty Dillinger. And going into this match, when I heard Solomon Crow's music hit and he came out, I'm thinking, okay, Solomon Crow is going to have an enhancement match where he goes over and it's completely unnecessary and all that stuff. But I was kind of taken back a little because Ty Dillinger was actually given an entrance where he comes out with a shirt that has the number 10 on it, a sign that he holds up with the number 10 on it, and his whole thing is 10, 10, kind of like, Big E Langston when he was NXT champion doing the whole 5-5-5 thing, and the fans, seem to are getting behind the new gimmick with Ty Dillinger. I kind of like it, NXT has a pool of talent, and NXT needs to use them in the right way, shape, or form. At least give different people new gimmicks to work with, and at least NXT is trying to do that with Ty Dillinger. I like to see more personality with the guy, but I think NXT might be heading in the right direction with Ty Dillinger, but in the same time, it seems like they're backing off with Solomon Crow. I mean, NXT is confusing sometimes. They are interested in someone, but now they're all of a sudden they're backing off on them a little. but now they're interested in someone else, giving them a new gimmick, and they might go somewhere with it, but then they might back off a little. You know, it's kind of like what they do on Raw, so hopefully something good comes out with Ty Dillinger and this new potential gimmick that may work in the future. So it should be no surprise by now that Baron Corbin comes out, does another jobber squash match where he wins over his opponent in whatever seconds flat. It is what it is. But what this segment done was something a little different here. I mean, here you had Baron Corbin actually get on the microphone, which I think was much needed. I think Baron Corbin really needed the microphone time, and he seemed okay on the stick. You know, again, you can always improve on the things that you're not good at. You know, there's always room for improvement when it comes to certain aspects of building up someone. And what I like here is that Baron Corbin not only nails the end of days on one person, but he nails the end of days on two people, which then brings out Samoa Joe. Thank you, NXT. Thank you for now that you're giving me Samoa Joe versus Baron Corbin. This was something that I've been wanting to see for the past few weeks now. So thank you, NXT. However, with that said, I did not want this. For the love of God. I mean, is NXT doing this on purpose? Copying what Raw does with their crappy storytelling, and now they're doing the same on NXT? I mean, can they do a feud right? For the love of Christ, I didn't want Samoa Joe making Baron Corbin pass out like now we know that Samoa Joe is going to beat Baron Corbin fine at TakeOver Brooklyn. Jesus Christ, NXT. I mean, it's one thing that you always do the same thing on Raw, but now you're delivering the stuff you do on Raw now to NXT. This would have been so much better if you had Baron Corbin get out of that submission hold and just tease the excitement and the adrenaline and the energy that makes people excited for the match. Not have Samoa Joe make Baron Corbin pass out in the ring. This was a joke. This was stupid and counterproductive, NXT. I mean, for the love of Christ, I don't get it. I mean, I expect this stuff on Raw. I don't expect this stuff on NXT. I expect NXT to do a lot bigger and better things on their show. No. I just don't get it. Alright, with all the ranting done on this video, let's all put that aside now and talk about the main event on NXT. And that was Bayley versus Becky Lynch in a #1 contenders match to face Sasha Banks for the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver Brooklyn in just a couple of weeks away. Now going into this match, you know, I didn't want Becky Lynch to be that person to face Bayley. I wanted someone maybe like a Paige or a Natalya where they make Becky Lynch look like, you know, someone who could beat the current NXT champion Sasha Banks, you know, by defeating a former NXT champion, the women's champion. But, you know, we got that last week when she faced Charlotte. So I'm fine, you know, what we got here. And that was Bayley versus Becky Lynch. And I like this match. This was a good match. I really dug the dynamics between these two. I like that the audience was split throughout this entire match, singing Becky Lynch's theme song, chanting for Bayley. I mean, they were split here. You know, they didn't know where they wanted to go. But I like that NXT made the right call here, and I like how they done it. You know, this was a good, really good main event to close off NXT this week, and this felt like that this was a match that something was on the line. You know, if this match felt like this was a #1 contenders match. That's what I dug about it. And I like that, you know, Bayley didn't win with the belly to belly. You know, if this was all Becky Lynch working Bayley's arm throughout this entire match, I mean, we got to the end result. It was Bayley doing a roll up pin to pin Becky Lynch in this match, which was good, you know. It didn't bury Becky Lynch at all, you know. It somehow sustained her momentum in some sort of way, if that makes any sense, but it also makes Bayley look even more stronger as well. And this is a match, really, out of the three main championships, the only one I'm really looking forward to. The match between Bayley and Sasha Banks. And I like that they're going in this direction, and I think I know what they're going to do with this match. I think they're going to have Bayley win because of the journey and the quest to becoming NXT Women's Championship. You know, I hope that next week that we do get that promo segment, some more interaction with Sasha Banks, the champion, and Bayley, the challenger, to generate the excitement even more. Do that next week. Next week is going to be, the last show before the 2-hour special. I hope they raise the stakes even more. This was a good show this week, even though I had some issues with it, but at least they concentrated on the three main championships as well as others like Jushin Thunder Liger and Tyler Breeze, as well as the NXT Tag Team Championship match. So that's what I like about this week's episode of NXT. And if you saw the show this week, what did you think about it? Feel free to leave those comments right here in the comment section below. And you can also hit that subscribe button down below this video as well to become an MRBer on this wrestling review show.